Plains' first news in high definition. This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 10.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
A former Lubbock police officer claims he was fired in retaliation, and now his fate lies in the hands of an arbitrator.
Chris Hensley was fired by the police department last year after being accused of using excessive force on a suspect. He's asking an arbitrator for his job back with back pay.
KCBD News Channel 11's Michael Slaughter joins us now with more on this developing story. Michael?
Well, Karen and Abner, the video playing behind me is from the traffic stop where police say former officer Chris Hensley used excessive force. Today, Hensley and other officers involved gave their testimony about what they say happened that night. Hensley admitted to using several bad tactics then, and he also had several write-ups and a 3-day suspension for using excessive force in a separate incident. But he says there was false information in his previous reprimands and claims he was ultimately fired when he filed a grievance. Former officer Chris Hensley says this Mustang tried to flee after they attempted to pull the driver over for driving on the wrong side of the road. But on the initial call-out, Hensley said he tried to ram me.
Do you think the driver of the Mustang tried to intentionally ram you or Officer Hensley?
After going back and looking at the video and discussing it, no.
Hensley can be seen breaking the back window and then kicking one of the passengers, an action he defended Thursday.
Do you think the kick that you delivered to the first passenger was warranted?
Yes.
Okay. And you've heard the testimony in here from a whole bunch of different officers, and including your own expert, who says that kick was not warranted. You don't believe that?
No, sir.
Another officer, Corporal Edward Day, can also be seen kicking a different passenger. He too testified Thursday.
You weren't disciplined for that?
No. Day goes on to say he was exonerated from the events that night, and when asked if Hensley's kick is permissible,
I would say yes, it was permissible. I admitted myself there were some bad tactics involved. That's not worthy of an indefinite suspension.
Hensley claims his suspension was retaliation for filing a grievance for disciplinary action he received on a separate incident. In Hensley's time at LPD, he received 4 write-ups and a 3-day suspension for excessive force.
Do you believe that this entire indefinite suspension is a result of retaliation?
I believe the vast majority of it is, yes.
Now, both sides will send closing statements to the arbitrator, and a decision isn't expected until November or October. Karen and Abner.
All right, thank you, Michael. Also, a Lubbock man who threatened to blow up a Southwest Airlines plane at Preston Smith International Airport here in Lubbock has been sentenced now to 18 months in prison. Back in May of last year, 21-year-old Jonathan Ivins posted on YouTube saying he was going to plant a bomb in a vent inside one of the Southwest jets. Ivins worked for a company contracted by Southwest to clean the planes. Even though Ivins went through several security checks, Airport Aviation Director James Loomis says he didn't raise any red flags. Earlier this summer, though, Ivins pleaded guilty to making that bomb threat.
Texas Tech Athletic Director Kirby Hocutt spoke out today about allegations that he provided special access to a convicted Ponzi scheme artist during his tenure at the University of Miami. The allegations come from former Miami Athletic booster Nevin Shapiro. He claims he treated Miami football players to sex parties, nightclub outings, cars, and other gifts from 2002 to 2010, which would violate NCAA rules. Shapiro is serving a 20-year sentence for his dealings in a $930 million Ponzi scheme. Hocutt says he has nothing to hide and will fully cooperate if approached by the NCAA.
There's a lot of allegations, and again, if young people made mistakes, that's unfortunate. For the 3 years that I was at the University of Miami, the athletics director is responsible for the day-to-day operations of the program, is responsible for the compliance unit. I can't say that our educational initiatives at Miami were as aggressive and proactive as anywhere in the country. And if rules were broken, those that broke them, I'm confident, knew that their actions were wrong.
If you'd like to watch the complete interview with Kirby Hocutt, we have it streaming right now on our website at kcbd.com, or you can watch the interview from your smartphone if you have KCBD's new app for iPhone, Android, or BlackBerry.
The South Plains community is working hard tonight to get things in order for Campbell Fest 2011. The festival is planned to honor the Snyder police officer who was shot in the line of duty in Snyder last month. The event kicks off tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock at the Coliseum there in Snyder. The doors will open at 6. Advance tickets are $20 for adults and $10 for kids. In Lubbock, you can get them at Sharpshooters on 50th Street or online at CampbellFest2011.com. You can also buy the doors. You can also buy them at the door, as I mentioned. We have more on ticket prices and festival events if you just go to KCBD.com.
Several people showed up to protest today over a plan to tear down the former Calvary Baptist Church next to Lubbock High School. Lubbock ISD began demolition of the old church today to make way for a new parking lot. LISD bought the property last year as part of a plan to expand its cafeteria and parking space at Lubbock High. But members of the South Overton Neighborhood Association are upset with the plans.
Everyone that's concerned about this, and believe me, if you're not concerned about it now, shortly you will be. This is a huge squandering of taxpayer dollars and your resources.
Now on Facebook, we're asking, do you think Lubbock ISD should tear down the former Calvary Baptist Church to make way for a new parking lot? If you'd like to join in on the discussion, go to KCBD News Channel 11's Facebook page.
Also tomorrow is a big day for Lubbock citizens who are taking up another issue. The Health Board will make its final recommendation concerning the fate of the city's health department. First, the city manager will present a proposal for what the city plans to do with the health department since the grants run out August 31st. Then 60 Lubbock citizens will address their concerns to the Health Board at that 1:30 meeting tomorrow. After all that, the board will give its recommendation to the City Council, and that group will make the final decision.
As students return to school in Lubbock ISD this year, they will have some new technology in the classroom. $28 million was spent on technology as part of the $198 million bond election last year. Smart boards will be in every LISD classroom by year's end, along with new computers for students and teachers. Meanwhile, Wolforth and McWhorter Elementaries will get more than new equipment. They will get new students and staff from the recently closed Tubbs Elementary.
With the pins.
In all the grade levels except 5th grade, we have 4 teachers. So the class sizes are between 18 and 20 right now, which are ideal in comparison to 26, 27 that we had last year.
Some designated campuses will also have new air conditioners, windows, and tiling.
Remember that stuff they used to use called chalk?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's gone now, isn't it?
Is it?
I haven't seen it in a long
didn't know
time.
that.
Well, you know, with all the kids returning to school soon, it'd be nice to know what kind of weather will be heading our way, right?
John joined us from the First Alert Forecast Center to tell us how kids should prepare for their way back to school. John?
Well, not a lot of change. I guess I can get out the blackboard for those who remember what that is, and we can use the chalk and check it out. But let's check the Super Doppler HD3. We had a few showers, very isolated in nature this evening, primarily between Tulia, Silverton, and Briscoe County. Had some unconfirmed reports of maybe near an inch of rain in northern Briscoe County, and even west of Muleshoe, possibly an inch of rainfall. But a lot of that dissipated by about 8 o'clock, so currently our live view only shows one small shower down here northwest of Gale, east of O'Donnell, and well to the west of Justisburg, maybe a light shower south of Justisburg, but that's about it. Most of the weather is calming down at this point. Temperatures slowly edging down, sunset getting a little bit sooner during the evening period, but we're still at 88 in Lubbock, 92 in Paducah, 93 in Guthrie, still 90 in Jayton. Tomorrow morning, nice. It'll be warming up at noon. It's going to be closer to 100 tomorrow. You probably noticed the temperature difference there, Abner.
And we would erase instead of delete, didn't we, John?
That's right.
Thanks.
That's right. Well, a small act of kindness for one disabled vet made him realize he has no limitations. Thanks to the Outdoor Adventure Foundation, Idalou resident Reese Axtell was invited to go on a hunting trip.
Just because you have an injury doesn't mean you can't do anything. It just means that you got to find a way around it.
Axel lost both his legs during a rocket attack on a U.S. military base in Iraq, and despite that life-changing event, he says he's learned to live with what he has and face any challenges. On his adventure trip, Axel shot an onyx, which is an African beast, a prize he says he will never forget. And Axel is currently defying the odds by becoming an automotive technician and is enrolled at South Plains College.
Good for him.